Gotta get it back on tour. Can a young nigga get money anymore? Can't afford to take a weekend trip. Louis 13 sip. We order more than pour it out like it's Fiji and dip. I keep my focus on me, trying to make it from the focus on E to my folks in Palm Beach.
Look, bro, probably it's the first time, our listeners are going to hear of you on the show, but I know we're blazing one of your singles right about now. But let's talk about you, man. Like, when I was looking you up, for the first time in my life, I heard of this place called Grenade, right? Because your mom is Grenadian, right?
Grenada.
Yeah, Grenada. I've never heard about it before.
Oh, it's a very tiny island.
Where?
In the Caribbean.
Caribbean,
it's not far from Trinidad. It's probably about, 900 miles away from Trinidad. Something like that.
Sabby says that Rihanna is his ex, so you're basically Rihanna's cousin.
No, but Rihanna not from Grenada.
Grenada,
my bad.
Grenada, yeah.
Yeah. But have you been there before? Like, what's there? What can I expect, bro?
It's like, I don't know if you've ever been on like a Caribbean cruise or anything like that. It's kind of that vibe. Beautiful beaches. The people, everything's laid back. There's like no crime. Everyone's nice. I think they probably have like one murder a year or something like that. It's amazing. It's an amazing place to be. Only thing is, it's kind of scary driving over there, because like in the middle of the island is like a big mountain, and there's like guardrails and people just driving on the edge of the cliff. I remember when we got there, I was sitting in the back of a truck, like I could look over in the truck and I could see my death. So that was scary, but it's a beautiful island.
Now that you mention it, it reminds me of the Seychelles. Same vibe. Very Caribbean. Everyone is all over. Yeah, the Seychelles, small community, but driving at night, you gotta have the experience, because anything can happen this time.
Man, that was a very anxiety-driven traveling that we were doing over there. It really drove my anxiety through the roof. Yeah.
Is it like flying all the way to the Bahamas? Does it take you like 60 hours to get there?
I haven't been to a lot of places. I haven't left the country that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Except for like Canada, but I feel like that don't even count because you didn't fly over any water. I went to Paris in 2018. Of course, I've been to Nigeria with my father. That's about it. And then South Africa.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shit, man. But your father traveled a lot, like when he was out in the US. You moved,
we were all over the place.
You were all over the place. You moved from California, Alabama, Florida. How was that experience like?
It was cool, to be honest with you. Of course, when you're young and you build those bonds with the kids that's your friends, it's heartbreaking when you gotta leave. But I've loved everywhere I've lived. I go back to these places now and I'll be like, nah, never. This was a stepping stone. I'll never live here again. But but nah, it was a good experience, and I feel like it's broadened my appreciation for just things in life, especially music. I have a broader outlook on the type of stuff I like to make, and the type of people I make my music for. So it was a great experience growing up, all over.
Yeah.
Who or what has been your greatest musical influences, considering the fact that you got to travel around because of your dad? So who would you say, who or what rather, has been your greatest musical influence?
Growing up, my family is like a very Christian-based family. So we did a lot of like singing hymns in the house. There was a lot of gospel music going on. To be honest, my first experiences with music was gospel music. Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin, Hezekiah Walker. That was music for me growing up. You know, it wasn't until like I started. I would always say my first like big memory of hip hop was when Tupac's murder was on the show called America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
that show used to scare me every week. Every weekend, my father used to love it. I don't know why, but I used to like hide behind the couch and just kind of like watch it with him because I just wanted to be next to Pops. But I didn't really like. I don't know. They used to have these scary sketches of people. But I remember, I remember Tupac's murder being on there, and then finding out about Biggie, and then I started listening to Mace and that sort of thing. That's kind of how I really got my start in hip hop. Is really that bad boy wave. But the things that kicked it off was gospel music.
Yeah. That's so crazy, man. I'll ask you the controversial question that everyone always gets, especially now you're bringing up Tupac and Biggie. Who was the best? Who was the best for you, Phil?
I think it's all right. So here's I feel like the skill of being a rapper.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Okay.
Impact and cultural and like importance, Tupac.
Yeah.
So I can't, it's me. Me personally.
Yeah.
If I pick one, I'll probably go with Biggie.
Yeah.
Just for I feel like Biggie has a better catalog of music.
I feel like Biggie was, he got
a lot of hits. Tupac. This is a conversation I have with my friends, and this might probably even start some controversy. Is we feel like Tupac really don't have a classic album.
What?
Whoa, Phil.
Yeah. All eyes on me. You can argue. Argue all eyes.
Yeah.
But other than that,
we're gonna have a virtual altercation.
I'm not gonna disrespect Tupac. Tupac one of the greats, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't Ready to Die, Life After Death. Those are very strong. There's some joints on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think Tupac has an album that's like joints, like, you know what I'm saying?
Back to back.
Yeah.
Heavy hitters.
Like, I don't get it twisted though. I don't want you to get it twisted. Like, Tupac is one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
But if I had to take one, Big.
Oh, you go for Big. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, it's a big one. I wish we had more room to get into that conversation, but we're trying to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
I know that Wayne is also one of your, people that inspired you. And,
for sure.
As you were coming up, names like Biggie, names like, Tupac, names like Lil Wayne, how did these rappers or humans shape the kind of artists that you have become?
I could tell you specifically what I've learned from these artists. Like Lil Wayne, when I was in high school, we used to listen to his mixtapes. His the way he was clever with his raps, like his punchlines, that was something that like was always for me. Like because of that, I always wanted to, in my raps, always have something clever or like put double entendres and metaphors and stuff in my joint just to kind of make people be like, oh, that's crazy. Because Wayne was big on that, and we used to trip out every time he would say something in his music. So Wayne made that big for me. Kanye West was another big one for me. I just like how, with every album he comes with a different vibe. Like everything switches, the style, the haircut, everything. So that's something I picked up from Kanye, and I love how he does that.
Yeah.
Reinvents himself with every album. Jay-Z, with him is how it's like with every era of music, he's been able to be relevant because of how he flows. He can conform his flow to whatever beat or, whatever beat he's on. And I always feel like that's because they always pit Jay-Z and Nas against each other. I feel like that's what made Jay-Z's music bigger than Nas, is because Jay-Z's flow, he's always able to change his flow, whereas Nas is more of like he's straight, like gives you that classic flow, and
Yeah.
That's about it.
Hello?
Yeah.
I still feel like that Nas and Jay-Z battle made Nas a little bit more part of the conversation for the longest time.
Nas is still Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'm probably a bigger Nas fan than a Jay-Z fan, but you know, Jay's his it don't get better than Jay.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like we've got to a point just because where Jay is, with his status and what he's been able to achieve and what he's been able to do for the people.
Yeah.
And we sometimes just appreciate the music and we don't dissect it that much. So no matter how we decode it, it's just the Jay verse, so it slaps. For me, it's okay. The last album, it was dope, but not dope. I wouldn't say people grow. I wouldn't say it's that blueprint.
It was a good album. I would say it was a great.
Yeah. It was a good album. It's a good listen.
It was a great album. It was a great album, but I feel like it wasn't like you losing your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This is crazy. Like it wasn't like nothing like that, but it was a great album. I have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an easy listen, but maybe it's because it's grown, and maybe when I've reached a certain age in my life, I'll be able to appreciate it a little bit more. But
I feel like that project was a little more laid. He was like, okay, I'm Jay-Z now.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I don't have to do anything else. This is just some cool stuff I'm putting out.
Yeah. And when you put your music together, I know you put out an EP last year. When it comes to content, when it comes to, just sharing some of the moments you're going through in your life, what do you find easy to share and what do you still find to be more challenging to pen down with your music?
Man, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Life experiences are always easy. Like certain life experiences are always easy to share. Like, relationships, things that happen in relationships. Things that happen between my friendships, that sort of thing. I think the one thing I haven't really opened up about yet is like my relationship with my family.
Yeah.
My immediate family. And I'm gonna get into that. I still have a debut album to put out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna dig into that a little deeper. With every project, I just try to give people like a different aspect of my life. With what you're doing after the EP I just released, that was more so showing you like, okay, I go out at night a lot. These are the things I see. These are the vibes I get, and these are the stories that I hear. I'm just telling you what I see at nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always something. The EP I put out before that, I don't know if y'all caught wind of that, but that was, for me, that was more like a sampler.
Okay.
So stories were kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the difference between the two projects. One is more of a story, and the other one is more just, good vibes, different vibes.
Yeah. But the first one, is it the one that you put out when you were still with Raheem? The one you put out to...
the first EP. The first EP I was talking about was it's called Always Something. I put it out in 2019.
2019. That's the one I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a collection of mixtapes that I put out with Raheem Devon and 368 Music Group. That's like 6 or 7 of them, and it's a lot of stuff. It was just really just talking about what it was like early on in my career, grinding all the way up. But now I feel like I'm in a different chapter. That's why I changed my name. My name was Phil Ade.
Yeah.
It's just Ade now.
Yeah.
Just a signaling of a new beginning, symbolic of a new beginning.
Power.
Yeah.
Alto?
Now you've just described the. Oh, I'm saying now you've just described the differences between the mixtapes that you've released compared to the 2 EPs that you've just released. And besides being a singer and a rapper, you're also a songwriter. I know I got disconnected, but I hope no one else is pushing. You're also a songwriter. Now you've written for the likes of, Chris Brown, you've got Wale, you've got Anthony Hamilton. Is the process the same for every artist that you write for? And if so, how?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I write these songs and these artists do them, I don't write them for the artist. I never write. I write them like I'm writing them for me. But
Yeah.
it's just, you know, you get in those situations where, you know, oh, I want to hear something. Let's see if we can do something together. And I just play stuff I already got that I was really, you know, writing for myself. And sometimes the stories are relatable enough that anybody can sing them.
Yeah.
Anybody's experience. And those are the records that I usually am able to connect with other artists. So it's never been, I have yet really to go in the studio and be like, I'm writing this for you. I'm telling your story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to do that though. I want to get into it.
Have you ever given a record to an artist and they just didn't deliver?
Yes.
Name and shame. Name and shame.
Nah, man, I can't do
I'm
it.
joking. Don't do that.
Oh, I can't do it. The Anthony Hamilton.
I was about to say Anthony.
Stop. It wasn't Anthony Hamilton. No, Anthony Hamilton delivered, man. He killed that. It was the person before Anthony Hamilton that is kind of in the same vibe as him and kind of does the same thing. And I was like, wow, this person is about to re-sing this joint. It's about to be crazy. They told me he was doing it, and I heard it, and I was like, nah. I was like, oh, wait.
What was wrong? Was it the way they were telling the story, or everything?
The delivery was just bad. I was like, what is this? Like, not what I would expect from like this person. I ain't gonna put him out there,
But do you then think that's the thing? Because you say that you write for yourself. It's like you're writing for yourself. It just so happens that, you know, you can give it away. You can separate yourself from that work. If that is the case, how do you, or what's the difference then when you work that you can give away compared to writing things that's for you, that you will sing, that you will rap?
I think it's just how personal the records are.
Got you.
Like even like for example, that record with Anthony Hamilton, the hook that he sang was, I got so much to live for, I got so much to give. I could take a look in the mirror. I forgot what the lyric was. I got so much to live for, so much to give. I can take a look in the mirror when no one else can. I got so much to live, but that's something that's like general. Like, come on, like all of us have, you know, a feeling of self-worth and that we belong here and that we have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So that's like something that's more general. Now, if I make a song about me and an ex-girlfriend or something like that, for example, like I took her to like we had to get an abortion or something that's personal like that, that's not everybody's experience. You feel me? So it's like, those are the type of songs. That's when I know, like, okay, this is me, and this could be for someone else could do this also. Yeah.
Look, I still feel, especially in South Africa, right? I'm going to bring it to our context where in the first world countries like America and in Europe, you guys have amazing structures when it comes to songwriters. And I'll bring this one to you, where I feel like songwriters in South Africa still have a long way to go in a sense of being embraced, as much as the composers and artists, you know, have some form of structure to ensure that they get their paper. What would you say makes it easy for you to get bread in America as a songwriter compared to any part of the world? Because a part of me just feels like you guys got some great structures. No matter how much input you had on a song, there's some form of money you won't get.
What was the question now? You said what do you...
I'm trying to figure out from you, like, what I generally feel like the experiences are different in all sectors. Like in Europe, people get bread, songwriters get bread in the US market, but in Africa, it's something that I'll just say South Africa, because in other parts of the continent, structures is something that still needs to be looked into. How did you get into it as a songwriter outside of being a performing artist? And would you say the bread is better as a songwriter than being the actual artist?
It was at that point in my career. It was when I first started doing it, because you know, when I was on the mixtape circuit, putting out mixtapes, when that was like the popular thing to do, you don't make money from mixtapes. You know, it's free music. You make money from shows and appearances and that sort of thing. And at the time, I wasn't like the biggest. I wasn't really in where I'm at now, where people were booking me left and right. So, you know, it got a little rough. When Wale called me, this is like 2014 or something, and, you know, told me to hook up with him and on some music. When I got that's when I got the Chris Brown. He put I did the song that Chris Brown re-sang my parts. Now that was when I got the check for that. That was the biggest check I had gotten. You know,
really?
At that point, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
All at once. So at that time, yeah. But you know, now that I'm getting into my own stuff, I've seen money bigger than that. You know. But it's levels to everything, man. It's like it just depends on where you're at with it.
Yeah.
And people gotta remember everyone's path is different.
That's true.
Considering the amount of work you've done, how would you describe your sound without saying it's hip hop, without saying it's R&B? Because I feel like you're a hybrid. Like you're so versatile without using the word versatile. How would you describe your sound?
This is a question I get a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate describing. Like I don't know how to really, to be totally honest, I don't really know how to describe it because it's so diverse. I mean, I guess that's how I describe it. It's diverse.
Yeah.
I have an appreciation for a lot of things. The other day I was just went on a tear just listening to like Aerosmith and Nirvana and stuff like that. You might catch me on my album with a rock song, you know, and I might do it and put a rap on it. That's just where I'm at with it. It's diverse. Right now I feel like I've been making some good like hip hop R&B blend, you know, with what I've been putting out. But I could take it there. I can go streets or I can go Vegas.
So essentially, you probably feel the same way that Tyler the Creator feels when the type of music he makes and other artists is described as urban.
Yeah.
Because we know what urban means.
Yeah.
Now, with the fusion with everything that you use to create your sound, whatever your sound may be, do you think that, for example, a hip hop and R&B feature now sounds different to, for example, a Biggie featuring Faith? Because oftentimes we borrow from the past, we influence. Like if you look at Tiana Taylor's song with Diddy's son, that sound is distinct. The way he raps is distinct, and we know it's from, you know, the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Do you think that our generation of artists cross the line when it comes to I'm inspired versus to let me just straight up jock the style and the sound?
I wouldn't say it's straight up stealing like so much, because hip hop most of it has always come from something else. You know, back in the day, they were just starting, and it was, you know, the DJs were the prominent ones. Like what they were doing was taking other records with breaks, and people were rapping over it. So it was really somebody else's song that they just chopping up, and that's how hip hop started, and it just continued that way. Yeah. Like the bad boy era, all of that was, you know, they were sampling the Isley Brothers and all of that sort of thing. It's now, because hip hop is now, it's still a very young genre, considering, you know, when you compare it to other genres of music. Now it's older, so now we can start sampling from hip hop instead of other genres.
Yeah,
because we've progressed so far. So it's always been an inspiration thing. I think like hip hop is very like derivative of other things. It's always been.
Look, I know time is also not on our side. Label might just say we need to cut this feed, but I'm genuinely curious. There's so many young artists who aspire to move from being an independent artist and experience being signed to a label? I know you signed to Epic, if I'm not mistaken. And we see now with Russ is celebrating, Tory Lanez is celebrating being independent. On your end, have you seen some form of a different feel ever since you signed Epic compared to your experiences as a solo artist, as an independent artist?
Yes, for sure. I think, I get into that conversation a lot. Like, what do I think is better, independent or?
Yeah.
I think it's based on the artist and the artist support system. I would say if you starting out, you got investors, you got people that doing PR, you got
a team.
You got people that's creative directing, and these are all your people, and you're set. What do you don't need a label, just do it.
Yeah.
You'll say you already have your squad, your team, but there's some artists that are amazing, and they ain't been blessed with the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a label with a good structure to come in and really help them grow and take it to the next level. So like I say, it's based on the artist. I've been, for the most of my career, I've been somebody who it's just been me and my manager.
Yeah.
And we outsource people to help us with certain things. So we didn't really, and I'm one of those type of people, I'm very picky. So it's like I don't really trust a lot of people with my art.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like Epic. At the point I was at, it made sense, and I love it over there. They really listen to my ideas, and they just take it to the next level.
It's a powerhouse, man.
Yeah.
Epic's a powerhouse.
Speaking of,
I've been able to connect with y'all.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? This probably definitely wouldn't happen.
Speaking of the next level, I mean, you have done mixtapes, you've done EPs, and now we're waiting for your debut album. What can we expect from this album? And I'm saying from a creative standpoint, from your visuals, from the features.
I kind of want to make it like I want people to feel like, okay, I know this guy and I either hate him or I love him. I want it to be like one of those polarizing moments for me, like, because I want to lay it all out, let people know who I am. This is what I'm about, and this is what I'm about to do. And you could love me or you could hate me, and that's what I want people to get from my debut.
What part of your life do you think will shock people the most when they find out about it, or it'll be a moment of learning because I've never heard it from your music before with the debut album?
Man, I can't get that away now.
I know. Is it your love life? Is it your family? Is it money? Is it financial freedom? Like, what is that one aspect of your life you think will catch people by surprise?
I think it's things that have happened in relationships. I've had I've lived a wild life.
Yeah.
But I think when talking about some of the things that I've experienced and mistakes I've made, I think it will shock some people. Because a lot of people think I'm very good, and I am, but I've made a lot of edgy decisions in my life.
Yeah, I get you, bro. I get you. Okay. Sorry, Elton, you can go.
I'm sorry. Who's the most unexpected feature, and how did it come to a point where you're just like, you know what, I need this person on the song. You know what, this might seem crazy, but I've got an idea and it worked out.
The most unexpected features that I have gotten so far?
For the debut album, is there an artist that you feature on a track where we just like, damn, I did an exploration? And if so, how did it come about where you two collaborate?
I can't give you that right now. I just got one yesterday.
Ooh.
Talk about, tell us how you guys came together. How did this collaboration come about? Without telling us who it is.
Mutual friends.
Yeah.
Mutual friends. and
Yeah.
I've been in a house a few times.
Yeah. All right. Last
I'm
question
very
on my.
stressed about that answer. Okay.
I apologize.
I can tell we're not gonna get much here, Elto. Like you try.
Zero. We should call him back when
I gotta hold
the
on.
album drops. We must scream.
I gotta hold on to the good stuff, man.
Okay.
Hey, we in business here, man. People gotta go get the album.
I feel. Can you give us the name of the album, though?
So early. I just finished.
Nah.
Come on, bro.
What you doing after the EP out right now? It's out right now. We just put it out a month ago. Just a month.
I get you. Fully get you. All right, cool. The EP is out. Look it up right now. Show us some love. But before we let you go, I just, for me, it's very important to know, because for the longest of time, Africa has just been seen as just a space of inspiration. There's so many people I still have personal issues with on how they use Africa for inspiration, but they never look at Africa as a place to explore. As someone who's based in the US, how are you guys seeing Africa right now with the music, the movies, the stories that we've been getting out there for the longest of time? When you think Africa, how is it still a jungle?
It's never been a jungle. I mean, I'm African, so
yeah.
My father's Nigerian, so it's always just. I mean, it's just been home.
Yeah.
But and my last name, my full last name, Ade Tumbi, as a black kid coming up in some neighborhoods where it's really no Africans sometimes.
Yeah.
They look at my name, they're gonna poke fun and all of that. But now, and then sometimes it's been my own people, like it's been black Americans that have poked fun at my name and all that sort of thing. So and I know it's just all of that is just out of ignorance for real. You kids, you just what I'm saying, it is what it is. But now it's kind of like, so now you get it.
Yeah.
Now the world gets it,
Yeah.
And, I feel like black people all over the world were coming into this realization that Africa is a beautiful thing. Just the idea of Africa is beautiful, and on top of Africa being itself being beautiful. So I feel like now it's an awareness, and it's a love for it. It's coming back, and I'm just like, welcome, y'all.
We've been waiting.
Welcome. So it's like it's great. I love it.
Yeah, man, this is dope. I think I get touched when big names like Beyonce just keep using Africa as a form of inspiration, but they never, even with what she's about to put out right now, Africa is not going to get it as quickly as everyone else. So sometimes I feel like everyone is embracing who they truly are. Everyone is trying to figure out where their roots, run deep. Is it Senegal? Is it Nigeria? Is it South Africa? But at the same time, people are ignorant to the fact that there are fans here that really consume your music. We do have the internet.
Yeah, for sure. And I've stated that to my label and people I work with, that I want to tap in with my people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, I want to tap in with where we're from. So I hopefully I can inspire some more people to do the same thing.
Feel you.
Yeah.
Feel you. If you had to get into a versus battle, who would you battle right now?
A versus battle, me and that's a hard one.
It gotta be someone.
It is somebody. I can't think of somebody right now.
Maybe someone on the album or the EP?
What? You can't tell us who that is.
I'm trying to get the name out.
My thing is that I can't, it's hard to compare myself to people. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Y'all ever heard of Childish Major?
Yo, I thought you were going to finish off with Gambino. Man, I know Childish Major.
Yeah. I feel like me and him kind of do similar things.
Yeah.
Like, as far as using melodies and rapping and, getting experimental. I feel like we kind of on the same plane with that. So we could that would probably be a cool one between me and him.
Right. All right. Elton, any last question? I know Label says it's time for us to wrap up, so
Yeah.
we don't want to burn
Who
bridges.
would you consider?
No, go for it.
Who would you consider the most underrated rapper, musician, artist, whatever? Who would right now in 2020? Doesn't matter how much work has been put out. Who would you consider the most underrated artist?
Wale. Wale is definitely
100% agree with you.
Yeah, he's to me like not. I mean, of course, that's my friend, but I'll watch him in the studio and I watch how he come up with verses very quickly and how like deep they be, like the verses be, and it's amazing to just see the level of artistry he put out, and then it come out for for whatever reason it don't get the same love as some of his counterparts. So that's been crazy to watch. He's definitely underrated. You know that song On Chill he has with Jeremiah, that's like his probably his biggest record. He did that song they did that in like an hour.
What?
Yeah, he just did a verse, and I was in the studio that day. I was like, because usually Wale he'll get in, he'll record a verse, and then he'll be like, let's start something else. He was like, bro, just finish it.
Yeah.
So man, it's done. The hook is done. Just do it. He did the verse. He did the second verse, and got Jeremiah, and it was over.
That's
quick.
Crazy.
One of the biggest songs of his career. Did that.
That is crazy.
No time. I've seen him do a verse for Raws in like 10 minutes. You heard that song Trap
Queen.
Yeah.
That Wale verse took 10 minutes.
Shit.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yo.
Me, I be taking all day. But yeah.
Yeah. I know I can talk, bro. I can talk, and I know my producer's saying, yo, we need to tidy it up. But thank you very much for this opportunity, man, to chat to you, and hopefully we'll connect again. We're still going to be playing the music this side.
Have a good night.
Love,
Morning.
man.
Oh, no. Okay. Bye.